welcome. This is your first time here.
It's my first time, and what a challenge it is to be promoting a movie we're not supposed to talk about.
Right. It really is, because you really aren't allowed to talk about it.
The burden of keeping the secrets.
Yeah.
It's
For years,
terrible.
right? Because
Oh
when did you
my
finish it?
gosh.
How long ago?
A year ago summer.
So you probably forgot about it anyway.
Pretty much.
Probably don't even know.
Short-term memory loss.
Yeah, that's what I have.
Like your character in Finding Nemo.
Yeah.
In fact, I have to tell you a story. I was packing to go to do The Force Awakens, and you know, the night before a travel day, you stay up all night and you're trying to pack everything and get rid of things that you don't need. So I'm going through my drawer, and a fan sent me this. Now, I love the movie, but I didn't need to pack it. So I went to toss it across the room.
Wow, you were really angry at that. Yeah. You didn't just sit it down saying, I don't need to pack it. You actually threw it away.
Not in anger. I was just trying to hit the shelf. And I'm telling you, it went swish no backboard right into my carry bag. And I said, that's an omen. And I've never had it outside of my travel bag since. And that was Force Awakens.
Wow.
So all during episode 7, all during episode 8, you share a little pocket on the side of my travel bag with the guitar pick that George Harrison's son Danny gave to me.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. You want to something? You look what I. No, I'm kidding. I don't. What if I had like a Mark Hamill thing?
That would be spooky.
That would be really spooky.
That would be
All right.
spooky.
So speaking of The Force Awakens, that was the last one, and I understand. So you read the script, you get ready for the movie, and you're in it for several seconds.
Well, and they sent me for a year and a half to physical training twice a week. I thought, with all that preparation, I'm going to do something really physical. I mean, aside from rotating and removing a hood. So I was reading this thing, and everybody's talking about me. Actors love in stories where they're talking about your character. The sword of Skywalker is powerful. We must rid the galaxy of Skywalkers. Everybody's talking about me. And I'm reading. I tell you, if you've seen the movie, I don't want to spoil it, but I thought when the lightsaber jiggles in the snow and flies, I said, oh boy, baby, here I am. And it goes to Rey. I said, she didn't even finish her training.
Yeah.
So I was so mad. But the truth of the matter is, they really changed my lifestyle. I lost, gosh, almost 50 pounds.
Wow.
And I'm on the if it tastes good, don't eat it diet.
You know, it's funny, when you get out of the habit of eating stuff that isn't good for you,
Yeah.
your body recognizes that it's not good for you.
Exactly.
Yeah, but it takes a while to get past that. Carrie Fisher was one of our favorite people. I loved her.
I saw you out on the street flagging down. It was hilarious.
Yeah, she's hilarious, and y'all were close. I know you were very close.
Yeah, and she's like an irreplaceable member of the family. But the whole world feels that way. We're all sort of mourning her. And I always think of her in the present tense. I don't think of her in the past, because anytime you were with her, it was just fun.
Yeah.
That's why it's so great that Billie Lourd's in the movie, because you have that sort of continuity there. And she's so similar to her mother.
Man, is she.
I know.
Yeah.
I mean, they asked me, how is she similar to Carrie? And I said, well, for a start, she was an hour and a half late to the airport.
Oh, well, yeah.
Because Carrie, she used to drive me crazy. I mean, we were more like real siblings than I really thought, because we'd have these huge fights. I'd say, you're just so full of yourself, and I can't stand it, and you think you're Hollywood royalty, and she'd say, well, you know, you're such a loser. Whatever. So we had these big fights, and you wouldn't see each other for months or even years, and then you'd see each other again and remind yourself how much fun it was to be together, because not only could she make me laugh, but I could make her laugh.
Yeah.
And that was our goal.
Yeah.
I mean, she was like a latter-day Auntie Mame.
Yeah.
She just looked at every day and tried to maximize as much fun as she could have in any given situation.